Hello everybody, welcome back to an episode of Trails Beyond the Horizon. In the last parts, we finished some connection events, then we headed off to finish off all of the rounds for the mornings, met some more familiar faces, and then got a call to help out our bracer friends who got themselves in a bit of trouble. Strange events happened. Strange monsters appeared. We need to head off to the Laveri district to continue our rounds to prepare for our evening afternoon discussions. So let's do it. Laveri district, Laveri, a new district we had never been to before. Yes, I'm ready to go. Vaughn's group headed to the nearest subway station and made their way towards Laveri in the northwest part of the capital. Ooh. The Laveri district. The Livery? Or Laveri?
Hey, ここがレーブル地区か。いかにも山の手っていうか、雰囲気のいい住宅街みたいだね。
ええ、品がありながら落ち着いていて、緑にも癒されますし。さすがアニエスさんが生まれ育った場所ですね。気に入ってくれて嬉しいです。
悪徳政治家を懲らしめるのに何度か夜に来たことはあるけど、確かにいい環境ね。前に勧められた高級物件とか検討しちゃおうかしら。
暮らしやすい地区なのは確かだと思いますけど。
女優の稼ぎなら余裕だろうが。つが、いつの間にしれっと合流したんだ。
Wait, where did she even come from?
いいじゃない。イベントもちゃんと終わらせたし。郊外で気になることもあったんでしょ。そちらも共有しておかないと。
本当のところは
私だけのけ者なんて寂しいじゃない。
いずれにせよ一通り回りつつ念のため掲示板を確かめるのだな。
ええ、ここは治安もいいしざっとで構わないと思います。
Now, if I'm remembering right, the bulletin board is over there. Okay, so here's the plan. We'll finish our work here, maybe check out a few shops in the chapel. After that, we can meet up over at the cafe or back at Montmartre to grab some lunch. Oh, actually about that, I have a suggestion. Given everything that's happened this morning, and since we're all here, how about we stop by my house for tea once we reach a good stopping point? I'm more than happy to make you all lunch too. You have so many leftover ingredients that are just begging to be used. Really? You mean it? You say your house, but it's also the president's, right? Won't there be security guards watching the place while he's away? Probably, but they know my situation, so I don't think they'll have any problems with me inviting you over. So, what do you think, Vaughn? Sure, why not? As long as they don't mind, I'm game. I ain't even be able to unwind this time. First visit was hell of intense with your dad around. Yeah, I'll bet. To say that guy knows how to command a room would be an understatement. Seems our course is set then. Let's head to Miss Claudel's residence once we complete the remainder of our day's work. Ooh.
落ち着いた雰囲気の店だね。リモートワークにも良さそうだ。
アルベール君やオデットもたまにここで勉強してるみたいですね。
さーて、ここの名物スイーツは何だったかなと。
ご注文は何かな？ありがとうね。
Got quite the view.
タワーも含めて街が一望できますね。レーブル自慢の景色ですね。早起きして見る朝焼けは最高ですよ。それはぜひ見てみたいものですね。
Gotta go on here. Guys, look, check out all these local event ads. There are charity flyers too. I suppose it's par for the course in well-to-do areas like this. Yes, that's true. Might also have to do with the chapel being nearby. Anyway, not that we find any here, but I don't spot any 4 SPGs on the front side. I mean, yeah, that's a surprise. If there are any, they'd be on the back. And we got Bupkis. Says this side's clean as a damn spring breeze. I was afraid of that. It's been a hot minute since I had a request here. I think the last time was... Hey, what's that? What's that? It's a little scrap of paper. Looks like it was torn off. Perhaps it's a request for something of the sort that was placed there and then removed some time later. Yeah, probably. And it must have been pretty recently. There's not even a speck of dirt on it, and I don't see any sign of it being rained on. There was a huge downpour this past weekend, and the border would have been sopping wet. Ah, yes, I see what you mean. It did rain quite a bit, as I recall. Which means it could have been posted for 3 or 4 days at most before it was removed. Right. Let's put our thinking caps on. Using a little creative deduction, this scrap of paper was most likely part of... the 4 SPG that was posted that was taken down, obviously. But I'm just gonna double check that just to be sure, because I want to make sure I have everything. So I want to go with... See, the problem with having a tab with not having my tab anymore is I don't really have. I have my phone, which I can use. I can scroll through shit to look up on, but that's kind of annoying compared to like a full-blown tablet. So it kind of sucks I don't have my tablet anymore. All right, the 4SPG. Yep, that's my theory too. Picture this, the person who needs help with something they can't bring to the police or the guild. They aren't used to dealing with shady types like me, but after hearing rumors about this 4SPG thing, they go on a limb pulling up. They wait 2 or 3 days, no one responding to it, and they give up and tear it down before someone else sees it. Seems like a plausible turn of events, don't you think? You got all that from a tiny scrap of paper? Well, he's just saying it's one possibility, but it is a convincing hypothesis, nonetheless. Ugh. I hate when he makes sense, especially when he looks so smug about it. Okay, Epstein. How does that tie into everything else? Huh? What do you think? I know the answer to that. You thought you had figured it out. Silly me. Well, I may not know the details. I think we can fairly certain something unusual is brewing under the surface. Or at the very least, this makes that conclusion seem that much more likely. Probability's definitely gone up. Can't make a definite call yet, but knowing that something fishy might be going on is still good intel. Doesn't your risk management AI or whatever's logic work in that in a similar way? Yes, although I'm certainly no expert on the subject. As I understand it, the system aggregates a vast number of risk factors that calculates the threat level based on that. Perhaps we could borrow a page in their book, take one lead and combine it with others, and the path forward may make itself known. Could consider making that our investigations get open in Gambit. Thinking about it in that way just reminds you of that stupid-ass Go game Geen and Cal like playing. So in summary, we just have to keep our eyes peeled, collect data, and then the bigger picture will eventually come into focus. Were you able to follow that theory? Oh, I guess it's kind of like when we see multiple artillery observers to spot snipers. They like to move around a bunch, so we have to be super in sync to neutralize them. Oh, that makes sense. Sometimes I wonder we raise this girl. We raise this girl wrong. Got a scrap of paper. Great, wonderful. All right.
こちらは地元御用達の雑貨店です。食材の品揃えが良くって近くにあると嬉しい店って感じね。住みやすそうで羨ましいわ。
It's Rebecca. How you doing, Rebecca? How's it going? The fridge has been acting up since yesterday, and I've been pretty stressed about it because of it. Got a lot of products stored up there. I've been trying to have trouble steering my delivery truck. Model number. Well, I have to look it up. The truck's is a 6-stroke ETWS. Oil. Refill. Show me. Okay. Wow, you already identified the problem? That's incredible. She's a bit impersonal. And even a little intimidating. She seems like she knows her stuff, I guess. Rebecca's doing on-site repairs now, right? I guess that's why she's all the way out here. Yeah, she appears to be nervous, but I do hope it all goes well. Huh. She's trying her best. She's trying her best. That's all that matters. Take it. Alright. What do we have around here? Big mansion.
はい。省庁勤めの方なども住まわれていたかと。
ま、面白いもんはなさそうだな。引き返すぞ。
Okay.
そういえばこちらの礼拝堂にはあまり顔を出したことはなかったな。
ちなみにこの建物は鐘楼まで登れるようになっているんですよ。へえ、行ってみたいです。
あら。
失礼。よいしょ。ひゅー。これまたいい眺めね。思わず大声で叫びたくなっちゃいそう。
変身後も含めて高いところ好きだよな。なんとかと煙はってやつか。
誰ガチャ、失礼ね。
Alright. Be on our way.
よいしょ。はい。
Not much else to do around here, huh?
ありがとうございます。
Give it to Rosette.
そちらが私の実家になります。バンさんは昨年末以来ですよね。
ああ、もはや随分昔って気もするな。そういや、あのでかい犬はどうしてるかね。
Alright, I think we can call it here. Being a real unusual whiff of something from all this, including this scrap of paper. If you're ready, are we good to head to my house now? Just a heads up, I can't do much more than make some sandwiches for everyone. Oh, it's more than enough. Thank you very much. You guys are gonna love Agnes's sandwiches. She gave me one the other day and it was so good. If you'd like, I'd be happy to help in prepping the tea and coffee. And I'd be happy to help myself to these vintage vines. Oh, no you don't. Not on the Clockbuster. With the opportunity word to President himself, he seems like the fun lad to be sharing a few drinks with. Master Brigard, you say some really scary shit sometimes, you know that?
Nice.
結構古い建物みたいだけど、すごく丁寧に維持されてるみたいね。
ありがとうございます。
確かに前に来たのは夜だったが、昼間はまた趣が違うもんだぜ。
え？
あっ、お前はまさか、
アルフォンス、どうしてここに？
へえ、なかなか生かすやつじゃねえか。
どうやらアニエスさんの家で飼っている犬みたいだけど。
話には聞いてましたが、あれ？でも皇帝ってところで飼われてるって。
アルフォンス、ステイ。じゃれるのはそのくらいに。
Oh boy.
お父さん？大統領閣下。まさ。
俺は驚いた。突然の訪問、申し訳ない。
いや、とんでもない。このような接待によくいらっしゃった。少々公務の隙間ができたので、散歩がてら立ち寄っただけなのだが。俺と出張から戻った翌日に業務再開とは相変わらず仕事熱心なことだ。娘のアルバイトの雇用先という意味ではあまり無理しすぎないでほしいところだがね。
お父さん、ほらアルフォンスね。
当然のようにご存知でいらっしゃるのはともかく、例の計画で多忙を極めてそうな閣下がそれをおっしゃいますかとは思いますがね。
So you're saying the second phase being moved up was in the cards from the get-go, huh?
ああ、なんといっても史上初となる計画だ。トラブルが起きてもリカバーできるよう、もともと十分な予備期間を取っていた。だがクロンカイト教授やエスメレイ准教授、ベルヌのエンジニア諸君の頑張りに加え、MK 社の管制システムも整ったため、予定を大幅に繰り上げたというわけさ。
Huh. I did hear Young, Essie, and Miss Giscard were at the base, but I hadn't realized they were so involved in the project. Though my department wasn't involved in the plan, I'm happy to hear that we've been able to live up to your expectations. By the way, there's something I've been wondering about ever since I saw the stream of the second launch. I'm guessing you're planning to use an assault frame in place of that blocky dummy unit, right? But there's no way that they weigh the same, so how the hell is that gonna work? Seems like your foolproof plan has a massive hole in it. Tactless Aaron strikes again. Seriously, take as blunt as a hammer to a whole new level.
構わないさ。確かに陸戦主体のザイクレスを想定したものではない。だがそこは当日のお楽しみにしておこう。お昼。
In other words, you and your trench monkeys have a new toy in the works. That's true. I'm guessing you're already in the middle of testing it, aren't you? No doubt you want to make sure it can handle any situation thrown its way in a vacuum of space. Bet the final field testing is being handled all top secret like, huh? Ah, I see. And that means...
MK 本社でいろいろあったようだが、そのあたりはご想像にお任せしよう。まあテストの相手としては君の名前も上がっていたんだがね。
Wait, what? You mean Bond's able to fly around that giant robot?
ああ、私も操縦できたくらいだ。MK のテスターなら十分いけるだろう。キンケイド君と相談して今からでも総司令に打診してみるかな。非公式の外部委託の体裁なら 4SPG として出せるかもしれない。
This is some kind of joke. I ain't laughing. Dad, please, we should tease about that sort of thing.
何？大統領ジョークだよ。冗談だが実は本気であることも多い。
Which one is it then? Are you joking or not? This freaking guy. Oh dear, Vaughn's completely at his mercy. Like I said earlier, he sure knows how to command a room. A challenge untrodden by mankind. It'd be dishonest to say I wasn't looking forward to this. They seem to be going to great pains to ensure there will be no interference from terrorists and criminal organizations.
ええ、それはどうか安心してください。例の結社との協定もあくまでイレギュラーを減らすのが目的ですから。
ああ。
君たちこそ協定があるのだから、あまり出しゃばりすぎないことだ。
ま、協定もそろそろ終わりだ。今後とも改めてよろしく頼むぜ。
Seems your reputation precedes you, Mr. President. You're everything the man that Mr. Roxwood claims you to be. I'd heard many a thing before you entered the political arena, but I'm delighted to make your acquaintance at last.
いや、それはこちらのセリフですよ。カルバードのみならず、大陸諸国がどれだけあなたに支えられているか、いずれ一席設けさせていただきたい。それこそロックスミス閣下も交えてね。
That'll be very welcome. Perhaps you ought to invite Lieutenant General Cassius Bright to this too.
おお、それは明暗だ。実は彼とは十数年来の知己でして。
Well, so much for us warming our way back into the conversation. Sorry, I was really hoping this would be a chance for us all to just de-stress. If it's any consolation, I myself find this to be a rather fascinating experience. Shortly thereafter, a number of calls from the presidential office came in, and Gramhart and his security team had to be put an end to their short break.
慌ただしくて失礼。諸君はどうかくつろいでいってほしい。機密文書などは置いていないから好きに見て回っても大丈夫だ。
How magnanimous of you, Mr. Prez. Still, this really is a nice place you got here. I hear you even had did the renovations on it yourself.
ああ、結婚して間もない頃にね。とある縁でこちらを購入したんだが、確か築70年くらいは経っているんじゃなかったかな。
Oh wow, I certainly wouldn't have guessed that. I bet this place would make a great This place would make. Can't even read. I bet this place would make for a great filming location.
アニエス、それ
What
で
the
は
fuck is that?
あとは頼んだ。それと試験明けだ。あまり無理をして皆さんの足を引っ張らないように。
もう分かっています。お父さんこそ無理しないでください。その例の計画、私も応援していますから。
ああ、ありがとう、アニエス。
Okay then, I'll get started on lunch. Please give me a little bit to get it ready. Like my dad said, you're free to look around the house as much as you like. Really? You mean it? Yeah, let's go! First stop, Agnes's room! Oh, Second thought she'd probably be uncomfortable with me going to her bedroom. Do you want to see it too, Quatre? I really don't mind showing you if you do. As I mentioned earlier, I'd be more than happy to assist in prepping for everyone's lunches. While you do that, I'm just gonna hang out here. Whoa, they left the dog behind! Oh, I'm sure Sakura will be back later to take him to the official residence. Okay then. Don't have a ton of time on our hands, but we can take a quick look around. So I can't believe this place is 7 years old. If I know my history, that'd take the house back to the time of the Fifth Republic. It really makes you wonder who built it back then. It's a fancy house! These ingredients should suffice the menu in mind. I must say though, the pantry is punctuously stocked, despite the both of you often being absent. Oh well, it all adds up being things with a long shelf life anyway. I come back 2 or 3 times a month to clean, cook, and treat the security personnel to a meal. Occasionally I will make some extra leave behind, which my father does seem to eat when he returns. Really now? I know he had a soft spot for his little girl, no matter how much he tries to act otherwise. That's a little debatable. He definitely has a particular fondness for my sandwiches and stews, though. I think it's fair to say I have to succeed in recreating this way my mother's tasted. Miss Claudel. Well, going by the ones you sometimes make at the office, I can say for a fact that they're both delicious. They say a kitchen reflects the family who lives there. This one feels tidy, yet lived in at the same time. It says a lot about the woman who your mom was. Indeed. Even the sink and kitchen utensils are pretty meticulously maintained. Well, it's been 5 years since she passed, but those parts of her might have rubbed off on me. I just tried to do things the way I remembered she did, though it wasn't without plenty of setbacks in the beginning. I'd even forced my father to eat the stews I burnt. Hey, any dad worth his salt would be more than happy to gulp it down. Yes, without a doubt. Exactly the same for myself. Well, at any rate, Vaughn, this will take us a little teeny bit longer. My success rate with these dishes is guaranteed, so just sit tight and they'll be out in a jiffy. Given that this is likely a larger part than Miss Claudel is accustomed to serving, I shall handle the ingredient spice measurements. Sounds good. My boss watered already. Don't think what's in here. Fuck, that's a bathroom. Pretty bland bathroom, if you ask me. Days gone by. Now this is a good one. Affirmative. Its metric and tone map patterns evoke feelings of comfort. Come on, guys. You can't just go put records on in other people's houses. Says you. The president gave us the okay to make ourselves sound, so I'm taking him up on that. This year is real fine, though. This library's got everything from classics to Chansons. I don't know what the fuck that is. There even happens to be a decent collection from Grammy's albums. Chansonnier extraordinaire Dominique Lancer, huh? Go figure. Whoa, Amber Turtle! This is my favorite jazz art, number 2? Wow, this is awkward. Between this and saunas, we've got more than a few hobbies in common. Didn't he invite you to a private session at the end of our big case last spring? In his book, you're probably the bad apple seducing his precious daughter astray. Don't even start. How many times do I gotta spell out that I'm the one getting barged in on here? Now playing next on Autumn Knows. I know it's nothing new by now, but Fia really is something else. 1000%. And they got good taste on top of that. He loves it! Alright. Ah! Oh, you can just treat him like any old dog. Fun fact, the sunbathe is actually their means of converting solar energy into power. Is that right? Pardon my rudeness. Should have known better after Mr. Kincaid's briefing. Zeros, was it? Pleasure to formally meet. President and his aide have already notified me about you all. I'll be bringing Alphonse back to the official residence in due time. Until then, you and the young miss are welcome to enjoy your stay. Sure, keep up the good work. Dog! Man, for a robot, you sure do enjoy sunbathing. Oh yeah? You wanna go, huh? How about some of this then? Seeing you sort of your scritchy scratchy technique. Man, I paid with the signs, but you sure are one hell of a dog person, huh? More or less. Same one from my mom, but we had to give up on getting one. How small the room we rented was. So to make up for it, we tore our way through the first ward of the 7th on the pup patting spree. 7 days a week. Talk about overkill. It's a miracle they didn't rub him bald. Hey, wait your turn, pet napper. This guy's what, 7 years old? Just because you're both middle-aged doesn't give you the right. I'm still in my 20s, damn it. Alphonse here sure is friendly with people, though. More natural with Agnes, but he seems pretty attached to the president, too. Dog! What are you doing staring at the bushes? Real sight to see, huh? They say Agnes' mom used to take care of it. This is Sophie Gramhart, otherwise known as the granddaughter of the famed Professor Epstein. This garden looks to have been carefully attended to, but I warned it was another person altogether who first put it together. The arrangement of the flower beds, the selection of herbs, they bring to mind the traditional designs of the Middle Ages. Someone I was indebted to had much the same predilections. Oh yeah? Was once. Must be a reason it's past tense. Gramhart said this place was built around 70 years ago. This not smack dab in the middle of the Third Republic. And the Levery district was one of the residential areas they set up at the time. Meaning the original occupant was an individual of great significance, more likely than not. That the house's construction is more modest and luxurious speaks to their upright character. There is a story, I imagine, as to how Mr. Gramhart came to assume ownership over it. Yeah, no way there wouldn't be. I'm just imagining things, or does this feel nostalgic somehow? And this ain't the first time it happened either. Who knows? Alright. So this is Agnes's room, huh? Isn't it nice in here? So warm, so calming. Plus it gives off the breath of fluffy, flowery air that Agnes has written all over it. Huh. I think I get what you mean. You can definitely tell that she's spent a lot of time in here. And just what's got you all wrapped up. Pouring over an older girl's private books? Wait, I'm 16 now. That makes Agnes and me the same age. Fair point, but in 3 days she'll be back to being older. Oh, he's got you there. Sure enough. No, it's not something to celebrate, but getting left behind again isn't the greatest feeling. At any rate, I would have apprehension I had flew right away the second Ray dies on these. The Professor Claude Epstein's diaries. That's so. Agnes always keeps the file volume on her, so these must be the rest. You can really tell her great-grandfather was a great-grand scholar, too. He'd certainly need to have been able to create the Genesis. Right. There are records here of how they were utilizing experimental observations for the invention of ordnance. There's also a lot to be learned from these writings. And what's more, they also describe his values as a scientist and a technician. Each and every word holds a wealth of meaning. You can see how Agnes got so engrossed. You don't say. I'd only ever leaf through the last bunch, so... Let's see. Stuff about his research, stuff about his family and assistants. And oh hey, this bit touched on the geopolitics at the time. Even as his personal analysis of Calvard. Communication lines barely existed back then, so how do you manage to put this many pieces together all the way into Le Mans? Incredible, isn't it? He talks quite a lot about Gran and them too. Publishing even a portion of these would make for an instant bestseller, don't you think? Wait, isn't this... What's up? Did you find an interesting entry? It's more like this name feels the one I've heard before. Does Herschel ring a bell? Herschel? That's... Maybe have a look. Toa! Afterward, the group shared a handful of findings and surprises held in Epstein's diaries. Quattro then returned straight back to reading them, where Pharaoh's Fairy found herself drawn to Agnes's picture book collection, eyes a twinkle. Mama, what's this about Toa? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, leave me hanging on that, why don't you? Looks like the press is private study. They did basically tell us what's his is ours, but this might be pushing it. Are those... I'll just take a little self-guided tour. Good future ref. Could almost call this a trail of memories between the Gramharts and Claudels. Ain't as much of a family man as Victor, but part of me does long for one for myself. This must be the president of his school days. Guy was handsman back then. The one on the left is probably Lilia Claudel, Professor Epstein's adopted daughter. Which makes this girl in the middle Sophie Claudel. They said that he was a military before getting into politics. Since he and Claudels were basically family. Lilia had already passed by the time Agnes was born, though, I think. Agnes is around 12 here, maybe. And the president looks no different than he does now. The guy hasn't aged a day. Just look at the three smiling faces. Can't have been too long after this that her mom... Oh, Vaughn, this is where you went. Yeah, sorry for treading off of the beaten path. Not at all. Take your time. If any books catch your interest, feel free to borrow them. There should be plenty geared toward car enthusiasts, sauna buffs, and other hobbyists. Nah, I've been posing enough already. A lineup like this could really hook a guy in, though. I'd imagine so, the way my father was used to hold himself up in here and to read the days away. Everything's been gathering dust the past few years, now that he's always out. It's also kind of a shame. He's still so young there, isn't he? Yeah, kind of ticks me off that he's been such a looker from then all the way till now. Still, I appreciate the chance to actually see your mom and grandma's faces. I suppose I'd only ever mention their names. Pictures are all I know of my grandmother. Still, everybody looks so happy in both of those. Yeah, same can be said for the one you're in. I have to admit though, the Claudel genes are a scary thing. I mean, sure, your hairstyles and overall vibes differ, but going by facial features alone, you three ladies are practically carbon copies. You think so? I'd say we couldn't be further apart personality-wise, but... Oh right, we're still in the middle of making lunch. I just came to ask if you'd mind us adding Diablo sauce to the sandwiches. Diablo. After receiving Vaughn's response that he was all for the Diablo sauce, Agnes busily vacated the study. Okay, I think that's enough exploring for now. Lunch should be ready soon, I bet. Might as well offer to help make some coffee. Sweet! I've seen all I can. Choosing to help with lunch. Alright. Then I guess I'll see if I can't help out with coffee or something. Actually, that reminds me. The date she put on her resume was July 12th, 1192. It's 3 days from now. I treated the others on their birthday, so I ought to do the same for her. Vaughn then went to the kitchen and helped make coffee, and was subsequently asked for his opinion on the matters such as the dessert offerings. After a short while, lunch was finally ready, and everyone sat down to enjoy the sandwiches Agnes and Rosette made. The blocky sandwich. By the way, Agnes, I took a look at your grandfather's diaries. I only skimmed through them, and he didn't write too much about his research, but I was still thoroughly impressed by what I saw. You sound like an insightful person. It's amazing to think that Professor Hamilton was a mentee. Hearing all that makes me really happy. I'd heard about that he cared a lot for his family, but reading this makes it all clear as day. You can tell just how much he loved your grandmother, Lilia. The message he wrote left for the generations after hers, to you and Sophie, are really profound. He also held a great affinity for the three disciples. Naturally, he cared deeply for Professor Hamilton, but I can feel a sense of compassion and trust for the other two as well, despite their... I don't know, I'm not going to try to say that word. Oh yeah, Professor Russell from Liberal is one of those three disciples, right? The fact that old Epstein projected he'd go on and invent the airship is pretty damn wild. Not only that, but he also wrote about the possibility of Professor Schmidt coming up with a railway system. It's almost like he could see the future or something. There's little way of knowing one way or another if he could. One thing's for certain, however, he was an incredibly perceptive man. He predicted the emergence of an artificial intelligence and a technological singularity even, which has become quite the hot-button issue. That's very true. I can definitely understand why my mother and grandmother chose to hide his diaries. In a way, he was far too ahead of his time, so much so that he may have impeded the potential of those who came after him. Yeah, might be part of why he never shared them with anyone, including the Epstein Foundation. But I'm sure the main reason ties back to his last words about gathering the Genesis. Recover the Ark Genesis before the year 1200X. Else all we know will come to an end. Hold up. So your great-grandfather used these observational devices, back when he established orbital tech, which means he had them at the time, but then at some point they were lost or stolen. I didn't get a chance to pore over every detail in his diaries, but I didn't see anything written about that. As crazy as it sounds, is it possible he knew that they'd go missing after his death? Yes, I'd say so. In fact, that's a definite possibility, especially when you consider what Dingo had said to us back in April.
その弱さこそが人の現在。第八はそれを観測し続けるために作られた。そして今回の観測は本当の意味でまだ終わっていない。オクトゲネシスの副産物としての機能。ゲネシスが起こした望まぬ観測結果、数回まで再飛行できる強制リセット。その時にアーカイブされた別の可能性を最終観測結果として確定させることでな。
Yeah. That's what he said, sure enough. Though I didn't hear those words directly from the horse's mouth, they sound no less disconcerting now. I can only surmise that these devices, including this 8th Genesis, which observes humanity's sin, are designed to carry out some function once all 8 are brought together. Yes, I come to much the same conclusion. However, I cannot help but wonder if there was some reason they were spread all over Calvard prior to our having gathered them. Considering his use of the word observation, perhaps some sort of process was being carried out by necessity. This whole thing is all kinds of confusing. But would that mean there was an observational reason behind Almana stealing and using them too? What? No, it's impossible. Much as it pisses me off to say, it isn't. Could be that them turning me into the tyrant of 40 years ago was all of this so they could observe the dark side of humanity. Yeah, same could be said about Pandemonium, which was brought about by the Seventh. Might have even been trying to observe the diabolic core I had inside me. Ah. I think it's safe to say my great-grandfather must have had some purpose for all this. Maybe he made the Genesis to bring out the ugly side of humanity and observe it. Could be there was some outcome he hoped to achieve. If that's true, then regardless of his reasons, it's possible that he wasn't the good, upstanding man I thought him to be. Agnes. Honestly, he sounds like most engineers and academics I know. We're all driven to test our hypotheses. That's right. Regardless of what kind of man your grandfather was, it was his diaries that got you to this point. Are you prepared to see this thing through, accepting the good, the bad, and whatever he was expecting to find out? Because if you are, then no. We will be right there by your side until you get there. Vaughn. That's right. We'll be with you to the end. Ride or die. Indeed. That goes without saying. Don't stress. We'll always be in your corner no matter what kind of person your great-grandpa was. Can't be much worse than our resident sugar junkie who gets in his kicks from eating sweets in his sauna. Hey! I've never done that in my life! Sweets are sweets and saunas are saunas, and never the twain shall mate. Wait, don't they cook sausages and roast marshmallows at the saunas in Remifaria? Plus, there's such a thing as stone cookware, you know. Whoa, pump the brakes! I don't want to know this. It's hard enough to find out those urges. Spoken like a true sugar junkie. Well, at least his addiction isn't so far gone as to be detrimental to his health. Yet. You should devise a plan to rehabilitate it before it goes out of control. Oh yeah, there was something else I noticed about the diaries. When I was flipping through them a minute ago, I saw the name Herschel. Ah, so you noticed that too, huh? Isn't that the name of your teacher? Yes, that's right. That's Miss Toa's last name. There was a famous astronomer brother from the Empire named Alfred Herschel. I've read several of his works. There's a good chance he's the person Professor Epstein was referring to. Of that, I have no doubt. Mr. Herschel was the dean of the Imperial Academy, the foremost academic institution of the Erebonian Empire. He passed 10 years ago, but I heard that from an early age he traveled the world to expand his base of knowledge. Nearly crossed paths a few times, but I'm certain that he was Miss Herschel's grandfather. Fascinating. Didn't realize he was an acquaintance of yours, Master. Next time we bump into Miss Herschel, we should ask about him. Never know what kind of stories he might have passed on. Even if they're not about the Genesis, it might be worth doing a little prodding. I hear she only came here because of her NGO work. Has she gone back to Erebonia yet? No, she's still here. She was supposed to go back at the end of last term, like Ren and Julian. If you'd like, I can call her in.
お嬢様、失礼します。ご学友の方々がいらっしゃいまして。やっ
ほー、アニエス。やっぱ実家に戻ってたみたいね。
庭先で黒いドローン犬を見かけたから、まさかとは思ったが。
オデット、アルベール君？ごめん忙しそうなのにわざわざ訪ねちゃって。試験明けなのにアニエスと会えないってアルベールがごねちゃっててさ。
ごねてない。寂しかったのは否定しないが。ロイおじさん、大統領閣下も相当忙しいみたいだしな。
すみません、心配をかけちゃったみたいですね。
Wait, why are you two wearing your school uniforms? Ah, that. We, have a little council-related trouble to take care of. What kind of trouble? Do you need help? Oh, we should be okay. It's just a handover meeting with a new school vendor, that's all. Ren will be helping us out with that too, so I think we can manage just fine. Can't keep depending on her with everything, you know. Otherwise, she'll never be able to grow out of her shadow. Why not go check it out? Between this morning's 4 SPGs and making us all lunch, I'd say you've more than done your part for today. But no buts. Work's important and all, but a healthy work-life balance is even more so. You want to go help your friends. Show super schoolgirl that you don't need no babysitter. I need to make up for lost working time from this morning, so I'll carry the load for both of us. It'll be less fun with you gone, but we'll soldier on. It's wages war on 2 fronts. Vaughn, you guys. Hey, you don't have to go if you don't want to. Not that you want to be a huge help, of course, but point being, no pressure. Sorry, we weren't trying to pull you away from your work. Please, don't worry about it. You didn't appoint me as your treasurer to slack off when I'm needed. Good luck with the rest of your work day, everyone. I should be able to meet up back with everyone later this evening. Good deal. See you later. Very well. Shall we depart for the Chardian district, everyone? I'll make a note to contact you once we reach the stopping point this afternoon. There they go.
まもなく発車いたします。次の列車が参ります。乗り降りの際はお気をつけて。
Sweet. Nice.
評価ランク更新させていただきます。
確かに受け取った。
Fortune. I will take it. Put in the acid spriggan.
ありがとうございます。
Let's save it. Oh shit, we're at 52 minutes. God damn, that went by very quickly. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. So when we come back, we will continue on, see what happens. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you then. Later.